on this computer, and we're live. I guess we're not live.
We are not. It's false advertising.
Recording it ahead of time. And we're recording. Oh, my man. I've got some food here, so you're going to be doing the talking now. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks quite yummy.
Yeah, it's delicious. It is mostly peas, apparently. But yeah, I discovered brown rice pasta.
Stuff's really good.
Shit's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is like, I love pasta, but it makes my tummy hurt. Yeah. So, and the consistency is amazing. It holds really well, cooks up really nice, tastes awesome. You can make it al dente. It's delicious. So here I am eating peas and brown rice pasta and chicken.
You might as well call yourself a bodybuilder at this point.
It's chicken thighs. So
yeah, chicken breasts are a sad excuse for protein source.
You know what chicken breasts are good for?
Nothing.
For fried chicken sandwiches.
Chicken thighs are still better for fried chicken.
That's true.
It's still like, yes, it's fried. At that point, it's gonna be fine. But you want to know what's better if it's fried? If it's fatty and it's fried.
It's true. I got some fried steak strips from Dairy Queen.
Ooh, I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah, with some Texas toast and gravy. Mm-hmm.
I think it was last Saturday. Last Saturday, I got McDonald's breakfast for the first time in years. Got myself a little sausage McGriddle. Oh,
the savory and the sweet.
Oh, it's so good. Mm-hmm. It is so good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, in other not
maybe
fast
we should
food
just
related,
stop and go get some breakfast.
I gotta go to McDonald's now. It's obligatory. One does not simply mention McDonald's. As far as the stuff at hand, though, goes, this week, routine looked very similar. To the surprise and shock and awe of nobody. But we started off with a shower and make some breakfast, make some coffee, do both of those, journal for a while, read from Hardcore Zen. I just finished that yesterday. So I think I'm going to go back to either Your True Home or Book of Joy or something like that. I've been finding a lot of utility in the reading in the morning, particularly reading something like in that general vein.
And just set the mind.
Yep.
Build the momentum. Start the day off.
Yep.
With the ball going in the direction I want to go in.
Yep. I'm
digging it,
sir. And after I finish those, meditate. Still just doing Waking Up app. Continues to be evergreen, to steal his own phrasing. And then I'll come downstairs, start usually rock and roll with some Japanese in the morning. I also usually check like YNAB and bank stuff in the morning.
When that ACH posts.
Yeah. Yep. Except I have Chase and YNAB, and those two like don't play very nicely together.
Well, I have some information for you. If you're open to it.
Oh, of course.
So I have Schwab and YNAB.
Yeah.
I also have Chase, but the credit card is fine. Do you bank with them?
So I do bank and I do the credit card. The credit card is definitely better than the bank.
Okay, so I have Schwab Bank, and it's just notoriously shitty with Plaid. And so YNAB YNAB has multiple service providers for data transfer, like
interesting.
Financial. Yeah, I had no idea. I messaged them and was like, hey, Schwab never imports. It imports for 1 day, and then I have to unlink and then relink again, and then I can get it. And I'm like, yeah, Schwab doesn't really play very nicely with Plaid. We have this other one called it's like MX or something like that. And then so and then they took a look at the rest of my accounts and they're like, the rest of your financial institutions work fine with MX as well. So let's just switch you to MX. And so what happened was all the accounts got unlinked.
Yeah.
And I had to add the connections again.
Yeah.
And then I had to like dedupe some transactions. But other than that, it was pretty painless. It took like 10, 15 minutes.
Right on.
And now everything just works.
That's super good to know.
Yeah, just hit them up and they'll get you switched over.
Sweet.
If Chase works with MX better, I'm not sure.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, like, oh, woe was me. I must manually import my transactions. My life is so hard.
I mean, I was just going to switch banks. Why not? It's more important than my checking account.
Oh, 100%. So 100%.
I'll just go to Ally, which works for everybody really well. So, no knife. So we're just gonna
absolutely not.
I'm just gonna man bite this fucking chicken. Okay. Wow.
It's really good to know. Then start work for a while, which has been fine. I'm in the choosing to remain in my golden handcuffs for a couple more months at least, because I get pretty hot chunk of stock in June that I can cash out.
How else can you phrase that? I like that. So here's what I liked about what you said, which was, it was like, I'm choosing to stay. Yeah. That's great. Golden, also nice. Handcuffs.
Yeah.
So how could we phrase that a little differently?
I'm just choosing to stick around for a pretty big payday that's coming my way on the stock side of things. And then we'll see. Okay. I'll either try and switch positions within the company. I don't really want to jump ship for like 3 or 4 months, assuming the Japan thing pans out. Start a job and then leave right away. So we'll see.
I was going to ask you, so is this because you're leaving for Japan or because you don't like where you are anymore?
Yeah, I just don't like the assignment that I have. I actually really like my company and I like my coworkers. I just don't enjoy the projects that I'm working on. So very big company, lots of ability to move around, but not until after we GA the project that I'm working on right now, which will be in May. So at which point I'll probably try and move.
Okay. And what's the timeline on Japan?
So that if it all works out, I will move there in October. It's just like there's so much up in the air right now because their state of emergency just got lifted like a day or two ago. And so they haven't really said what immigration is going to look like for this year. They were letting students in up until January. And then from January to March, I think they put a hold on that. So we'll see. Of course, I'm not particularly concerned. The school is doing online courses. So I could start here. And then as soon as they're allowing people in, I could go move there. So we'll see. But yeah, it would be October.
I just took a huge bite. So our listeners are going to have to wait until I'm done chewing.
That is okay.
We're going to have to be comfortable sitting in silence. So have you been accepted and now it's just a matter of?
So the acceptance will come next month probably because I submit a final application on March 31 because I need a bank statement dated after March 20th and Chase issues at the end of the month. So I'll do that. The school itself is, can you pay for it? And do you have a high school degree? Both of those are high school diploma. So both of those things are true for me. I am not anticipating any rebuking of the school. So it'll just be a matter of the timeline on the Japanese government issuing, they call it a COE, so it's your certificate of eligibility. They're still processing those for the most part. And then they send that to me. And that'll probably happen this summer sometime. Like I'll probably get my COE in July or August or September. And then I take that to the Japanese consulate in Denver. And then they actually give me my student visa. So it's the school I'll know next month, probably next month or in May. And then from there, it's just it's all government stuff, and it's all like state of the world with COVID stuff.
Okay, so all stuff entirely out of your control.
Yeah, exactly. I've done everything I can do up until this point. And I'm still like feeling very optimistic about it. I'm feeling very excited about it. It is a frequent source of daydreaming for me, and it feels really good.
I love that phrase, daydreaming.
Yeah, dude.
I went to a party last night that was basically the entire night was a daydream. The theme was come as you are 5 years from now. And then the entire night was basically people, or I'd say the vast majority of the night, were people like role playing who they are 5 years from now, which I thought it was awesome to see what people kind of wanted for themselves.
That's a really, really cool theme for a party.
Yeah, you would have dug it. If you were here, I would have invited you.
That's been a recurring theme of the last couple of weeks.
What's that?
Of our check-ins. It's like this dope party you would have been super into.
Yeah.
Dude, Austin's a very cool place.
It is a very cool place. So the everyone there, like a party like that kind of attracts a certain kind. And so there were a ton of like life coaches there. There were a ton of like people into personal development. Like, oh, I've got my like, I'm trying to get my Instagram supplement company like off the ground. Like it was a lot of that stuff. However, what we do and that stuff are very close.
Yeah.
Very, very close. A lot of that stuff can turn into like a near miss. So it's like, well, why do I want that's the $100 million or the island or whatever it is. Yeah. So can you guess what I showed up? How I showed up?
I'm going to assume that you just showed up as you in 5 more years of practicing this stuff.
I did a little bit. I didn't want to seem that like, oh, and I am perfect and I don't need to do anything, even though I am, and I don't need to do anything. I didn't, I wanted to tone down or increase the humility a little bit on that one. And so, which is funny because then I came as just retired. I was like, I'm retired. I'm married. I have a couple kids. We just chill with our dogs. It's fun. Other people are like, I've got like 10 houses and vacation properties. I'm like, that's awesome, man.
Fuck yeah.
Good for you. I'm gonna go play some Dota. Let's go. But yeah, you would dug it. You would dug it for sure. Lots of pretty girls.
Yeah, that's every time I go to Austin, like Denver, don't get me wrong, Denver is rife with attractive human beings, like lots of beautiful women in Denver. But Austin just hits different. Like, Austin I don't know if it's
Austin has more.
They have more, and they have the big floppy hat, high-waisted jean, like hipster as fuck vibe. And I'm so here for that.
There's a lot of that.
It is. It's glorious.
Yeah, there's a lot of chakra aligning.
Indeed there is.
There's all flavors. But yeah, I was shocked. I got on the dating apps and I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Wow, the quality is pretty high here.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So it looks like Japan's on cruise control.
Yeah.
You understand? Your work is whatever. And it doesn't really matter. You kind of have this like long, well, it doesn't really matter anyway, but you kind of have this other plan.
Yeah.
Right. Japan's really the thing. And this is like I get my sweet tendies in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
Lifting.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much same there. Lift a couple times a week, usually 2 or 3. Jiu-jitsu somewhere in the realm of 3 or 4. And then usually a day or 2 of just taking the dog for a walk or whatever.
What do you do for mobility?
I still do I don't ever do the full 45-minute gymnastic bodies stuff anymore, but I pull the stretches. I've pulled the stretches from that help me the most. And I try to do, 5-10 minutes a day of just some general mobility work. I've also got some stuff from my physical therapist I was working with last year that they take 30, 45 seconds to do a set of, but it's a lot of T-spine mobility, lumbar spine. So a lot of just frequently moving for my mobility.
No yoga teacher training for you?
No, I was actually thinking about that pretty recently. And it's interesting to me. Yoga is fucking dope. Don't get me wrong. But when I think about sitting in a classroom to get taught how to teach that, there's just no pull for me anymore. Which is useful information to have, super useful information to have. But I think part of that too was not really having the jiu-jitsu community yet. And now that I have that, there's very little desire for something on top of that, at least in that regard. I've got my movement pretty well dialed in now.
It sounds like you've got your community as well.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
That you were craving.
Fucking love those people. It just attracts. It attracts the kind of people I want to be around.
There we go.
Both in the pursuit of that sport and just in general in life, it tends to attract a particular a brand of person that I resonate a lot with more often than not. Which is really fucking cool.
Water seeks its own level.
Yeah. It's amazing to me how universally true that statement remains. It has always been true, right? But it's the experience of it gets way cooler as I in turn become cooler. Or not even cooler is not even quite the right word. As I'm more and more comfortable and confident in who I am and what I want, I naturally find those things that I've been wanting. Last night, my old Japanese tutor that I was working with, she got married. So she did a little Zoom call for us to meet her husband. And I hadn't, which is so fucking funny. It's the most Japanese thing in the world. They met online, they don't live together. I don't even know if they've ever seen each other in person. And the way they refer to each other is just very formal. It's very funny. It's very interesting. But what was so cool about it was I was able to actually dish out a pretty substantial amount of Japanese and understand what they were saying. And I stumbled for sure, but there was a lot of stuff oh, I know exactly how I want to communicate that idea.
Awesome.
Which was fucking so cool. I'm getting all these resources now. My grandma, a friend of hers in the retirement neighborhood she lives in, her granddaughter has lived in Japan for 3 years. So I'm hooked up with her now to get more information on where to live. Do you remember David Whitaker from Turing? He's a teacher now. And so him and his wife lived there for a year. So I've got them giving me information. Obviously, my teacher and her husband were like, we'll help you find a place. We'll make sure you have people to talk to. So it's just like, yeah, it's just fucking, it's really fucking exciting. It feels really good.
Yeah. Are you excited to meet your wife over Zoom and then never
I
see
am.
her? And
I
then
am,
marry her
exactly.
without ever meeting her?
It was, dude, it was so interesting. Like, there's just Japanese is such a formal language, or at least it can be such a formal language. And her husband was using like the most like basically the service industry level polite Japanese with us. And I'm like, this is, dude, just like fucking be a dude. But like, that's just not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Not for, not as a native Japanese person, I don't think. Like, there's obviously exceptions to that rule. But for the most part, most of them, the first time they meet somebody, are like very, very cautious, very formal.
I see.
Which is still really cool. And the formal version of Japanese is very beautiful to listen to. So
I feel like we're like that. We just not with our language choice.
Yeah.
Like we don't use sir and ma'am, right?
That's true.
But I think we're like that with new people, where we are more reserved. We don't share intimate details.
Totally.
We just keep like to surface level conversations, talking about the weather or the fucking sports ball teams or whatever it is.
Totally.
Don't say the word fuck. You know, those kinds of things.
It's that's very accurate. I think one of the differences is like you conjugate verbs differently for the like honorific forms. Which is, I think Chinese is the same way, actually, now that I think about it.
I mean, Spanish is the same.
I guess that's true. Yeah, usted versus estás and etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was super dope. Listing my house this coming week.
Oh, okay. So you're selling.
I am going to sell.
Okay. All right.
I was doing the calculus. It's not actually calculus, but I was doing the calculus in my mind of I extended my Japan application to a year. So I'll be there bare minimum a year, upwards of however long.
Fuck yes.
Oh, it's so fucking, dude.
Oh
like,
my God.
And I had this like story coming up. I'm like, oh, what are my parents going to think? What am I going to do with Hattie? Like, I don't know if I can swing a year. And I was just like, we're going to not believe that. And we're just going to do a year.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
I'm so fucking excited for you with you, dude. I'm like tearing up right now. I'm getting emotional. I am tearing up. There are literal tears forming in the corners of my eyes. I am so fucking ecstatic for you. And like, this is like an outcome. And so I don't want to focus like so much on this outcome that has happened, but it's like to watch you come from, I don't know, fucking 4 years ago, however long it was, we've been working together, which it's crazy. Has it been that long?
3 years, almost exactly 3 years.
So just 3 years ago, go from where you were to like actually doing the things you capital W want to be doing in your life. And making seemingly untrivial decisions that help engender what you really want to occur. Like selling your house and upsetting potentially your parents, disappointed, whatever fucking story we have over what other people will think. And this is not you not having these things go on in your mind. I think I'm getting like an Amber Alert. Actually,
yeah, your whole phone, your whole screen shaking.
Actually, my phone's excited for you too. My phone is like coming so hard right now about you going to Japan. That was definitely an Amber Alert.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not about you not having or experiencing these thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
that's great if I can just not, then it's, we're in effortless territory. Awesome, fantastic. But it's not about not experiencing them. It's not the goal. It's like, I will experience discordant emotion or stories that I know don't really work too well for me, don't really serve me very much, are less skillful. And checking in with what I'm actually wanting. In your case, a fucking year, man. I want to go for a year. That's like, fuck 3 months.
Yeah.
It's like just the tip. No fucking way. We're going balls deep in Japan. Not for kids. Not for kids. I giggle every time I check the box on YouTube. Is this video made for kids?
No.
I giggle to myself every time. And going all in.
Yeah.
What's something that you really fucking want? I don't think that's ever happened in my life. And I've looked back and gone, oh, I am so disappointed in myself for going all in this thing I wanted. Ever. Even if it didn't meet my expectations or work out or whatever bullshit story I have on that outcome or old story I have on that outcome. This is all working for my good, regardless of the ends.
Yeah, dude.
I totally bungled this like texting exchange with this girl I was setting up a date with. That's why I'm giggling. I'm just thinking of me fucking up as well, and it's not fucking up. It's just like it's all working for our both of our goods, her and mine. So yeah, like this is a celebration of all of the work and you showing up every week and every day to this practice and being of service to others. That's the thing that rubs me the wrong way about the coaching profession. It's like, yeah, I like people want this kind of stuff and it is super valuable. It's just, I got it for free.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it away for free. Yeah. You know, and I don't want to be a fucking life coach. So then I would like literally be my dad, which would be awesome. That's fine. Like, but it's really fun. I would just follow my dad's trajectory entirely, but software engineering is way better. Excuse me. You did the deal. You've been doing the deal since day one. Consistently. And look what fucking happens. And this is true for anything that you want. Anything that you want in your mind's eye. When that desire manifests in your brain, it is 100% going to show up in your life if you really want that thing. And that sounds super woo-woo-y, and I don't really give a shit because it is 100% my experience. Over and over and over and over and over again. And why this work is so vital is that it works for anything that I want, which if I don't have clarity on what my capital W wants are, meaning like what my, for lack of a better phrase, like my capital C consciousness, God consciousness, my spirit, whatever fucking woo-woo word you want to use, true self, all that fucking bullshit. Then I'm gonna go get all of these things. And at the end, I thought of this the other day, where it was like, if I don't get to the root causes and conditions with my food stuff and body stuff, I'll just be a guy with 6-pack abs who hates himself. So it's like I hate myself before, but now at least I have 6-pack abs. So there we go. But I still hate myself. So I guess that's a step up. And it's like, oh, I'll be a guy who hates myself with $10 million. So with well-being as the North Star, then I can get in touch with what I really want. And then when I get those things, it just feels so much better. So I'm already contented. It's like, sweet. It's like I'm already full. And then there's another buffet. Holy shit. Oh my God. It's so much. And it never ends. The work never ends. And what can come to us never ends. It's really just a limit of our desire. It's really weird. Like the more contented I get, the less stuff I desire. And it's like, it's really weird. It's like, I don't crave the fucking islands or whatever, like Maseratis and shit. I just have no desire for these things because I know what brings me contentedness, peace, and joy. And it is stuff like this. It is being in community, being in relationship with other human beings, and being of service. And those things are free. And it's really weird. I started doing all those things, and now I make $200,000 a year. It's so weird how that just happens. Huh.
Imagine that.
That's so weird. My net worth fucking like 10xing in like 3 years. That's so fucking bizarre. That's so weird how that just like fucking happens. Maybe there's something to this. I don't know. Yeah, I was really wanting someone to show up to the party and be like 5 years from now, like, oh, I have this like huge, this huge service community, and we have cured poverty and like homelessness. There's none of that.
There was I was gonna send this to you too. I was just gonna keep spamming you with hardcore Zen quotes.
Do it, man. If it like it's not even about like me receiving them or reading them. It's when I do stuff like that, it's more about me like, oh, this resonated with me, and I want to put a pin in this. Put it on the sticky board for later.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll send it to you later. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's a lot like that general idea. It's like, by all means, go save the world. Go stop the homophobic Nazis from going to war on clubbing baby seals in Antarctica. Like, he just has this like ridiculously extrapolated example. He's like, by all means, please do that, but also just like appreciate your life and help those around you and be kind. And I think that, at least in my experience, gets to the crux of the biscuit much faster.
Yeah, the two aren't mutually exclusive,
yeah,
but generally they're treated as such.
Yeah.
In my experience, folks that are super like, I've got to go save the world are so arrogant, egotistical, and self-centered. And there's a ton of internal work to do. I speak from like having a PhD and being egotistical, self-centered, and selfish. Okay, I've got if there is a step higher than PhD, fucking Nobel laureate of selfishness and egotism, like that's me. So I'm not here to judge you as being less than. I speak from experience with this stuff. And I am just much less suited to do those things. And even if I do, and then my cup isn't full, then there's still one more person that doesn't fucking love their life. Because I'm actually miserable. And good fucking luck bringing joy into the world when you're fucking miserable. Good luck. It's like when we go and build fucking water wells in Africa And then they're like, thanks. And then just like a fucking, like, what's a warlord comes by and like kills everyone so that he can control the well now. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, looks like you don't know what the fuck is going on. That assuaged my white guilt for a good 3 to 5 months. That was solid. So, all right, let's get into it, man.
Yeah. Do you still want to just do a real-time one?
100%.
Cool.
Yep.
Can it be a real-time one from like the past that we haven't done yet?
Sure.
Cool. So the one I was thinking about was, I can't remember if I told you about this story. I think I did, but it was when right after Afton and I broke up, and she re-proposed to me.
Well, let's start first, not with the story or any context. What is the resentment of?
Yeah, the resentment is for when Afton re-proposed to me.
So it's to Afton.
Correct.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now the story, please.
Yeah.
As many words as you like.
Yeah. Man, like, talk about putting me in a shitty fucking spot, right? Like, I was the one who decided to break the engagement, and now, like, so context, I got home from work and she like had cleaned the whole house, had like gotten herself all beautiful and done up, and had written this like fucking essay. And she like whips it out, sits me down, and she's like running through this thing. And it's like apologizing for all the things she didn't do, and like saying how she's going to try if like I just give her one more chance, and like how badly she wants us to be together. And the whole time, like, as soon as it starts, right, like I already know where it's going, and in my mind the whole time I already know I'm going to say no. 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 And I'm like just building this like anger up in my mind of like, how dare you put me in this spot again? Like, we're done.
And what is this spot?
Like, I knew she literally got down on one knee and like pulled out the wedding ring and re-proposed to me.
Right.
And, like, so I knew that was going. So the spot is like, you're putting me in a position where like in the story, like I have to break your heart again. Because like I could
there
say
we go.
this.
There we go. Awesome.
But I'm not going to. So I have to hurt you now. And we could have avoided this had you just not fucking done that.
All right. What are the facts?
Yeah. Afton re-proposed to me.
Awesome. Affects your?
Yeah. Self-esteem. It like this is still someone
yes, self-esteem. What else?
Yep. Pride, personal relationships, sexual relationships, ambition, and that's it. I don't see safety or pocketbook there.
And then why ambition?
Yeah, I have an ambition of, I think in that case, like there's some of like not hurting other people. Like I don't want to cause undue harm to others. And this is putting me in a position where like, in order to be true to myself and what I'm wanting, I'm going to have to cause harm to other people.
Okay. Let's get into the selfishness.
Yeah. Here is this woman like has like gone above and beyond to try and like illustrate her feelings to me. And all I'm thinking about is like how shitty it's making me feel and how I'm going to have to cause harm to her now.
Yeah, you're thinking about how this is affecting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In my feelings. As this woman pours her soul out to you.
Yeah.
You're like, but my feelings, I don't want to make you feel bad because that'll hurt my feelings. Okay.
Yep.
Dishonesty.
Yeah. Well, like I have to do this in the first place, right? Like I don't have to say no. I am not being forced to be into a position where I have to hurt this other person. Like I am choosing this path.
Keep going.
I think it's dishonest for me to think of like her sharing her feelings as bad or like an inconvenience to me. Like I don't think either one of us being honest is bad, or the dishonesty rather is like being truthful to oneself is bad.
So you mentioned something in the story where, so I asked you, oh, what did I ask you? How did I phrase it? I'm trying to not give it away. So I asked you, like, yeah, what does that do when she proposes to you?
Yeah.
And like, so what happens? So she does that, and then what happens?
Yeah, I am now in a position of saying yes or no.
Which would do what?
Hurt her or make her really happy.
Bingo. So, and if you hurt her, then what happens?
Oh, I am bad.
Okay.
For doing that.
Great. And so why are you bad for quote unquote hurting someone else's feelings?
Yeah, that like good people don't hurt other people's feelings.
Okay, so how can we move this general concept over into the dishonesty column?
Yeah, I think that last sentence does it. Like good people don't hurt other people's feelings ever. And if I'm going to hurt someone's feelings, then that must mean I'm bad.
So this actually, you're close for sure. All this is correct. And this is actually a combination of dishonesty and selfishness. And
I think I maybe like her emotions are in my control, or like it's up to me. My decisions impact or control other people's emotions.
I am responsible for other people's emotions.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what the main dishonesty is here. It's like she is proposing. It's a proposal. There are two outcomes. Some could argue three, but I would argue that a maybe is a no.
Yeah.
So there are two outcomes. And her emotional response to your decision is not your responsibility. I am responsible for my emotions. Now, I can pretend like I'm not and blame everyone else for how I'm feeling. And you show me that person, and I will show you someone who is not feeling so great. Or if they are, it is super ephemeral. It's like they just got off stage. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm amazing. Everyone loves me. That's why I'm not an actor, man. I saw that in myself. I was like, oh man, this is like a juicy this is like a rat trap with like the biggest, juiciest piece of cheese in the middle of it for me, man. Oh yeah. I'm responsible for Afton's emotions. Root dishonesty. Awesome. Fear.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of, man?
Yeah, I'm afraid, like I am afraid of needing or choosing to hurt her again, right? Like I remember vividly as she was talking, the like feelings building up of like, I really don't want to have to do this. I really don't want to have to do this, but I know what I'm gonna do. And the fear was like, man, like, what if this is the second chance that like I'm supposed to say yes to, and we can be like happily ever after, and then I'm going to be alone forever now. What if like she doesn't want anything to do with me ever again? Like, am I a bad person for saying no to this?
So if you could just bullet point those.
Yeah, like I'm like listening to my conscience creates pain for myself and others. I think that's more like a root story, maybe.
So behaving how you really want to behave, causes pain.
Yep.
That's a good one. I actually really like that as far as like a bullshit story. Yeah. That's a good one. Mm-hmm.
I do too.
That's the people pleaser in you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I'm going to be, there's a fear of being alone forever, as like, this is my last chance.
Yep.
I remember we were at a New Year's Eve party once. And I think he was like the guy shooting the video it was like a charity event or something. And Afton and I were dancing, and I remember he came up to me. He's like, dude, don't fuck this up. That's as good as it's going to get for you. And I internalized that super hard. And I thought about that a lot since then. And
it's funny how people can just say stories and they just like worm their way into my brain.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like the equivalent of like when I just start spewing facts that I've never verified. It's like, 70% of people on Instagram are depressed. Like, that sounds right. Continue. Okay.
So yeah, that fear came up. It's like, oh fuck, maybe that random dude was right. And like, this was as good as it was going to get. I had a second chance. Mm-hmm. I fucked up. And now I'm going to be alone forever. I think that gets to the main bit of the fear, I think, for me.
Yeah, man. No companionship. Alone forever. Naya PP touched.
Not even one.
For days and days. Not even one. Not even by accident. Not even a ball tap. Not even a gentle ball tap. Yeah. Awesome. So how would you replace these stories?
Oh, like with ones that actually work?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That's shiny and new. I mean, it's not. We've been doing that this whole time.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We've done that literally every time.
No, we've never replaced them.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right. I must save this.
Yeah.
So
we have been like wax on, wax off replacing them, but we've never like gotten through.
Well, the end goal, which I've already told you many times, is like what we're doing is taking an inventory of the root stories that don't really work so great. And then now that I know what my scripts are, I can become aware of them, and then I can choose to believe another one and replace it with another one. It's literally that simple.
Yeah.
It's literally that simple. And then over time, my default mode turns from the story that doesn't work so great to the story that does, or a nudge up from the story that doesn't work so great over time. Meaning, like, I don't even think about it, and boom, it's the other story that pops up over time in different facets of my life at different times. So maybe in wealth, like that improves, and maybe in romance that like improves, and maybe in health it's like not as good yet, right? Like we'll use our body image stuff as an example, right? We're bouncing, like there are these spokes that are coming out, like those like histograms, but they're in a circle kind of thing, and it's like, oh, and they're coming out at different times in different categories in life. And then eventually just keeps expanding and growing and growing. That's what we're doing here. That's it. The thoughts are everything. The words we use, the stories we tell ourselves lead to everything else. My perception of the world around me is my experience of the world, which is tautological, obviously. And so if I change those things, I've changed my experience of the world. The world changes. Change myself, I change the world. I change myself, I change the world. Change myself, I change the world I'm in. Running on different software. Performance enhancements and drug improvements. New features. General sense of contentedness and well-being. So what happens? It's reprogramming the mind. That's what we're doing. And it sounds fucking insane until I realize that my mind is being programmed for me if I am not doing it.
Yeah.
Why do I believe the things that I believe? Where did they come from? I didn't come out of the womb being like, the Jews are the worst, right? That's no baby comes out thinking that. The stories come from somewhere. No baby comes out racist. No baby comes out depressed. Clean slate. And thoughts get injected into our minds from our parents, from society, from advertising, from media, from wherever. And I live my life thinking that these things are truth. This is the way that things are. As much as I know the sun is going to rise. Which is why I held on to them so strongly. I was like, because I also wanted to be right more than I wanted to be happy. But once I realized that it's just as simple, not necessarily easy, and it's really not that hard, especially with working someone, it's just a matter of reprogramming and celebrating the tiny wins. Noticing when the reprogramming is happening. Oh, holy shit. Before, I would have just slammed that door in that motherfucker's face, and now I held it open. Holy shit. Whoa. And those all just build up on each other and build momentum. And I'm never done. Am I done brushing my teeth? Am I done taking showers? No. That would seem ridiculous. Oh, I've showered. I'm good for the next 50 years. I'm good. No, that would be absurd. Because we are bombarded with stories that don't work extraneously and internally. And so it's an active practice of awareness and reprogramming the mind. And being of service, which is the most powerful in my opinion.
Completely agree.
There's no better way I know of getting out of my own fucking head and removing selfishness from the equation than helping other people other than myself. And there's this weird phenomenon that like the more I give away, the more I get in my life. Like you and my other guys are responsible for almost everything that I have. Which is why I should be paying you. I joke with my coach that she should be paying me. And that's all I have to say on the subject. I am done. And we have concluded this session. All right, brother. Anything else for me?
I think that does it, sir. As always, appreciate the time.
There we go. All right, brother.
All right, man.
Have a great
Peace.
week. Later.